Hello, I'm Kathy Stroh from Our Game Table, here at WBOC's historic Studio D. You're watching Delmarva Life.
And we're going to hear from Kathy coming up a little later on in the show, talking about games. Board games.
Right.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about one of my favorite board games?
What is it?
It's called Lie, Cheat, and Steal.
Oh my goodness, really?
And that's what you do in the game.
And is this a family game?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You win by buying 500 votes, being the first one to buy 500, and you do not walk away from the board. Because the other players will take your stuff. It's part of the game.
All right.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
I don't know what to say to that,
Yeah,
but I will tell you, if you live in Cambridge or pass through the area, you might have noticed a great deal of work going on at the Long Wharf Marina.
A lighthouse is being built there, and it will officially open to the public in a matter of months. Now, those behind the project have been watching closely as the final pieces are put into place.
Brian Spiro spoke with them and got an up-close look at the lighthouse. Take a look.
Nearly 2 years ago, a lighthouse along the Cambridge waterfront was nothing more than a plan. Now that plan has become a reality.
I'm a real concrete lady. I like to see results.
The community has really supported this project.
Jackie Noller and George Wright are with the Choptank River Lighthouse Society. They've been instrumental in pushing this project through to where it is today.
This is one of the best things I've ever done in all of my undertakings in my life, whether it was in my professional life or in my civic life.
Bringing a lighthouse to Cambridge has been on the radar for several years, but it wasn't until August of 2010 when things really took off with fundraising efforts. And last summer, work began at the end of Pier A at Long Wharf Marina. The first sign of the lighthouse, the pilings that would become the base. Then the screw pile style lighthouse started taking shape. Money from the state and private donations have helped move the project along. One of the most significant donations came from Rufus and Lorraine Todd of Fishing Creek.
We want to give something to Dorchester County and Cambridge.
Wanting to make sure a lighthouse made its mark on the Choptank River, Mr. Todd called George Wright and offered his help in a big way.
Lorraine and I are going to give you $100,000 in stock. And we did.
Since that day, these four have been waiting to cross the finish line together.
You see all that sort of white paper that's around the lantern?
Yes.
That'll all come down and there'll be steel kind of a structure and glass in there, and we're going to have a beacon blinking.
Whether it's during the day or at night, the lighthouse is already catching the eye of many.
It's fantastic to believe that such could be done.
And work is still being done, especially inside. Delmarva Life got a sneak peek.
Now what we're walking into first is going to be our museum area.
Right.
And we're going to have various things we can talk to you about in a moment, but let's look over here. This side will be our dockmaster's office, and he and his assistant will be able to see every slip in our marina and do all the boat rentals and slip rentals, from here.
It thrills me. It's beautiful, and I think we're going to have a lot of tourism here.
We have a bridge that crosses the Choptank River that takes us from Talbot County down towards here, Dorchester, on towards the ocean. And we know there are 49,000 cars that go over that bridge every day. And we believe our advantage from where we stand today is that that lighthouse is going to bring heads, turn heads as they drive across the bridge and say, what's going on in Cambridge?
It's going to be a tremendous tourist attraction, but I believe it's going to be a real economic boost to the community as well.
A dedication ceremony is set to take place on September 22nd. After that, the light many have been waiting to see will officially be burning bright.
You know, it's the final touching, putting the icing on the cake, so to speak.
I expect to be here. I expect to be here.
It's going to be wonderful. Just everybody's going to really appreciate it.
We're just going to be so grateful that it's all come together and we have something as beautiful as this lighthouse replica to show for our efforts.
How exciting is that?
That is incredible.
It
That's
is.
awesome. And it's wonderful to have something like that built to carry on, to teach the kids who never saw anything like it before.
Right, right.
It's a wonderful thing.
Now the new lighthouse is actually a replica of one that used to sit out in the chop tank. It was dismantled back in the 60s.
Yeah. Great to have it back. That's going to be wonderful.
Still ahead on Delmarva Life, game time. When was the last time you sat down with the family and had fun with a board game? Why, you might want to consider it. Delmarva Life, life at its best here on Delmarva.